Yeah. All right, let's see if we can pull people up. Hey guys, can you hear us? Can't hear it.
Yes,
Oh, good. All right, let me see. Hey, Letitia, you're there?
I am here. I can't start my video though.
Oh, your video won't turn on?
No, it says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Okay. Dave, are you on? It says new hour. That should be, hopefully that's, let's see. Webinar settings, claim host. Let me see if I can add you. Let me see if I can make you a co-host. Oh, I know why, because you're change role to attendee. Yeah. Host, co-host. I don't think it's letting me do it from the phone. You know what, Letitia, I'm gonna call you right back.
Okay.
Hey, Letitia.
Hey, Dave. So I can't start my video.
Huh? Wanna log out and log back in? Miyoshi, I'm gonna bring you into the panelist right now.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah,
y'all,
Dave, still getting the same thing.
Letitia and Miyoshi, could you both try and turn on your video?
Yeah, it's saying that the host, you cannot start because the host has stopped it.
Mm-hmm. Mine's saying the same. It definitely did that last time too, until they gave us permission to be able to turn on our video when it was like time for me to speak, and then.
Weird. Okay, hold on one sec.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Letitia. Hi, Hiroshi.
Serena, I'm gonna check out.
Hey,
newer-
Serena. Are you
Hi.
calling me Letitia?
Letitia.
Letitia, Letitia.
How's
Good
it going?
morning, Serena.
Morning.
Okay.
Right,
All right.
Serena? I think you called me
Serena.
Letitia.
Letitia.
Yes.
Serena, here's the issue. Whoever set up the webinar set it up so that hosts and panelists can't have their video on.
Oh no. Okay, let me try to log on from my computer and see if I can change it. I'm gonna jump out for a second.
You can't edit it once a webinar is started is the issue.
Oh my goodness.
So what we can try and do is, this is going to be a little annoying, but I think the best way to do it is we can make people co-hosts. I don't know how many co-hosts we can have, but we can try and make people co-hosts and see if that works.
Okay, do you want to try and see if you can make Letitia a co-host?
Yeah, Letitia, I just made you a co-host. See if your video works now.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, it works great.
Yes.
Yay!
Yoshi, I'm going to make you a co-host too. Let's see how many co-hosts we can have. I don't know how many. Hopefully a lot. All right, great. We see you.
All right, I'm gonna jump off because Noelle's gonna set up the laptop. Hi,
All right, great. See you soon.
we'll be back. All right, thanks guys, bye. mute this for a second?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, guys, I'm gonna end the webinar for a moment. If you can rejoin, I'm gonna see if I can end the webinar and restart it quickly so that we have the video feed. I just have to turn on video.
I
So we're
don't,
just
Serena, I don't
No?
know. I don't know if it's gonna work though.
No.
I've tried this before and I think when you end a webinar, I think it's done.
Oh.
So I think we need to just make everybody a co-host and it's okay.
Okay. Okay. Whoops, I lost them.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go down.
We're making it work.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So we should turn this so that we're
All right, Melissa, do you want to try and do what I was trying to describe earlier from your phone?
Yeah, but on the mute and unmute, it just says mute and unmute. It doesn't have an option like a caret for me
Okay.
to select.
Okay, no worries. Then I think we'll just do what you were originally thinking.
Okay, I think Tanya's logged on, so we'll just use her audio and my video.
Beautiful. See you soon.
All right, so Letitia, we'll get started at 11 and we'll start by having you open and welcome and then introduce folks over at the J Street bus stop. And I would just make sure to say, here, let me start my video. I would just make sure to say that that bus doesn't go to Rikers right now because there's no visits.
Hey, Serena and Letitia and everybody, we're still waiting on all the speakers in Brooklyn. So would folks be down to just wait a few minutes to get started?
All right, you all just let me know when you're ready. It doesn't sound like we're gonna be starting at, I don't know, 11:05 is the plan, or 11 o'clock, right? But if it's gonna, I don't know, just let me know when we're ready.
What's your phone coming up? Wait.
That echo is wild.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, but I think you need to turn off one of the volumes or something. Maybe on the computer if you're gonna call in using the phone.
Okay, what about now?
Think, yeah. But I think,
Okay.
why does Serena have, I'm confused. So it's
Let me
Serena's phone for the video that you all have?
use my phone. for
Okay,
the
so we should
speakers.
call in the, wait, let me mute this.
Kelsey, try stepping back and just speaking from that phone from away from the computer.
Wait, but if
Serena
you're
is
on-
calling in, Dave.
let me-
Okay,
The Zoom participant, you just use. I did. No, you're.
I think if y'all are on a computer, if you could just switch to phone audio, it makes it a lot easier. So whichever phone Kelsey has, for instance, she can call in.
If you want to use
Well,
your phone,
Dave, we were trying to do that, but then it comes up as an attendee, not as a panelist.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
So Serena wants to do it as she's a participant, like as she, like,
Yeah,
with her thing. But then when the
this is
video,
Serena.
When you hit switch to phone audio, it should just allow your phone to just be the audio for the Zoom link. It's for the Zoom
That's
account that you're using on your computer.
Hold on. Let me do it on my phone.
Okay.
Dave.
Yes.
Oh,
So
sorry.
turn the volume off on the computer. Mute the volume on the computer, not on the Zoom. Or
Okay.
you can mute both actually, and then you should be able to talk. No, I can't hear you. Unmute the Zoom and turn the volume off on the computer.
Is that
Try-
better?
That's perfect. Try again.
Hello. Testing.
No, it's still getting a fucking weird.
Like a bird.
The computer audio is muted. The computer volume. I mean.
Wait, is it better now?
Perfect.
Alright, cool.
oh yeah, oh wait, is it working? Is it working?
Perfect. So what you can do is just leave the Zoom unmuted and then just use the mute unmute function on the phone, just like you would if you were on a normal phone call, and y'all should be good to go.
But you're the hotspot, so we have to do a straight
Sweet.
phone.
Okay, I'm muted on there now.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
We need you, but you're the hotspot. You can't go over there, right?
I mean, it can as long as it's not like super far away because it worked last time, but
But we can use this one if that's easier. Well, it wasn't. We just keep switching phones till we find the
My
right.
phone doesn't have a good hotspot. 'cause it's-
Well, she's the hotspot,
Right.
so we
Yeah.
can use it as a microphone and just leave this here.
Yes.
So we hang up your phone. We do it all over again.
That was your hotspot.
I look like a ninja.
Okay, so hang up.
Okay, last time. Wait, let me mute.
Hey, Melissa, is Tanya gonna call in? I've been waiting for her to call in to promote her to a panelist.
Sorry, say that again.
Is Tanya gonna call in?
She is called in. I don't know if she's been promoted yet, but it's on
Is
her
it her-
iPhone. It
is
might
it-
be
is it-
Arlo's iPhone name. I don't know.
I don't see Arlo or Tanya. Is it just her phone number? Six-
It might be.
The last four
Hold on
digits
a
are
second.
0623.
It's 2160, the last four digits.
Yeah, she isn't called in. I don't know what Zoom she's on.
But I can see it on her phone. Like she sees the Bedford.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's not coming up in the attendees. Could you ask her to hang up and call back in?
Yeah. He said that you're not.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I think we're good.
Perfect. Bedford is ready. Morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. We're still working out a couple of technical kinks, but we'll be getting started super soon. Melissa, how y'all doing over here? I'm furiously looking in the attendees section for Tanya or Arlo, and I haven't seen it yet. Melissa?
Dave, can you see Tanya now? As a listed person.
Yes, I see her now. I'm gonna promote her now.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, Melissa and Tanya, want to just do a quick sound and visual check? Whoever's doing what, just do the quick test.
Sorry, was that to me? I missed that because there was
Who's
a bus
doing
very
video?
right.
Who's doing video? Who's doing audio? And just do a quick test.
Yeah, I'm doing video and Tanya's doing audio, so I'll turn on my video. Sorry.
Great, see you, great. Tanya, want to test your audio? Tanya, can you try and unmute? I should work.
We had to change the settings in her phone first, so that's taking a little bit. So give us a second. Can you hear us?
Hey, Dave, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, yes.
Yes? Okay, great. Thank
Right.
you.
Brooklyn folks, are your speakers there yet or no?
Yes. Our speakers are here. One of them is parking.
All right, great. Letitia, I think you should kick us off. Is everybody ready? Folks in Bedford ready? Folks in Brooklyn ready?
We ready to go? I'm hearing an echo.
Let's do it. Brooklyn folks, I'm gonna mute you while you're not talking. We're getting a lot of echo.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Letitia,
And
your video isn't on. Sorry.
yes,
You're good.
good morning
All right.
again. And welcome to our Mother's Day rally to call for justice for mothers, women, and gender expansive people behind bars. We are joined by sisters, mothers, activists, and formerly incarcerated families this Mother's Day weekend to support women and impacted families by the incarceral system. Joining us from across New York State are members of the People's Campaign for Parole Justice, New Hour, Osborne's Association, New York Initiative for Incarcerated Parents, RAP, Releasing Aging People from Prison, and members of the Justice for Women's Task Force, and myself, Columbia Representative Letitia Morris from the Center for Justice. Today, you'll hear from lawmakers and community members about the urgent need for in-person visits, parole reform, and maternal health as well. We're raising our voices to ask for the restoration of visits in county jails as they've been closed for over a year. We know that during COVID time, some of the jails were open for visits or prisons, but the jails, Rikers Island has not had any visits in over a year. We're urging lawmakers to also pass the elder parole and fair and timely parole bills, which would allow grandmothers and mothers the chance to be seen by parole boards for a fair chance at release and allow many to return home to their grandchildren and children, hopefully for Mother's Day next year. We're also urging lawmakers to pass bills pending in Albany to codify in-person visits so no child, sister, or family member will not be allowed to see or touch or hear their mother or family members behind bars. We're going to start in New York City, where a group is gathered at the bus stop in Brooklyn that goes to and from Rikers Island. But keep in mind, there are no buses running to and from Rikers Island at this moment because there are no visits taking place. This is Mother's Day weekend. Our mothers, sisters, cousins, family members will be inside without visits, okay? That ain't right at all. And so we're urging lawmakers to pass this bill to codify these in-person visits. And so let's go ahead over to the bus stop in Brooklyn, Rikers Island, that goes to and from Rikers Island, and then we'll head over to Bedford Hills, the New York's only maximum security prison for women, where our mothers and sisters are also without visits. Brooklyn?
Okay, great. Thank you, Letitia. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you. My name is Tanya Krupat.
and I'm the director of the Osborne Center for Justice Across Generations. We're here, as Letitia said, at one of the Rikers shuttle bus stops in Brooklyn, where before the pandemic, families could come for free transportation to Rikers to visit their loved ones there. We're here today to mark the fact that there are no buses and there are no visits. For more than 1 year, children have not been able to see their mothers on Rikers, and mothers have been isolated from and worried about their children. 1 year is a long time in the life of an adult, but it's an eternity for a child who's separated from her mom. That's 365 nights of going to sleep wondering if your mom is okay. That's birthdays and holidays passing without your mom. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, a difficult and painful day for incarcerated moms and their children. It's also the busiest visiting day at women's jails and prisons because children love their mothers. Tomorrow, no children will be visiting their moms at Rikers, most of whom are awaiting trial and stuck there longer because of court delays and adjournments due to the pandemic. Most of whom are low-income women of color because we criminalize poverty and race. We don't make trauma treatment accessible and we punish rather than offer healing. So in honor of mothers on Rikers and their children, we call on the Department of Correction and the Department of Health to reopen visits at Rikers. Many families wanted to be here today, but were afraid to speak out about the toll of not having visits. They were afraid that their loved ones would be punished or they would face retaliation. One family told me, be our voices, bring back visits. So on their behalf, I implore the city to bring back in-person visits this week. Visits are so important that we also call on the state to pass the Protect In-Person Visiting Bill, which will ensure that video conferencing can never replace in-person visits, and that jails offer evening and weekend hours. And what do children need most on Mother's Day? They need their mothers. So we need to bring moms and grandmas home, and we call on the state to pass the elder parole bill and the fair and timely parole bill now. We see you and we support you. It's our message to children and moms on this Mother's Day. And we won't stop until these bills are passed and visits are restored. Thank you. Back to Miyoshi, I think. We'll pass it back to Letitia. I think Miyoshi's going to speak next.
Yes, Miyoshi Benton from the Women in Justice Project is joining us on Zoom. Miyoshi?
Yes, good morning and happy Mother's Day to all. My name is Miyoshi Benton and I'm the Associate Director of Advocacy and Strategy at the Women in Justice Project. We are here in solidarity for our sisters and siblings on both sides of the wall. My heart breaks for each and every one of the women that have to suffer another Mother's Day, another day behind the walls without having access to their children, without being home with their children. We all know prisons are barbaric and inhumane to all incarcerated people. It's a system that does not allow for transformation, healing, and accountability. It places enormous barriers on mothers who are trying to parent their children, trying to love and nurture their children, parents that are trying to still do the extraordinary in the impossible situation. Women and gender expansive people have the right to be supported in this process of parenting. They have the right to have in-person visits that allow them to touch their children, to have a meal with their children. They have a right to be home with their children. I remember receiving visits from my children while I was incarcerated, and that protected my mental and physical stability. But more important than mine, it protected my children. It allowed them to feel connected to me. It allowed them to feel loved by their mother. And that is the feeling that cannot be replaced by anything. We have to move away from the barbaric practices and harmful practices. We have to start valuing women as human beings with the right to be treated with dignity and respect. We have to do better. New York State draconian sentencing practices has prevented and continue to prevent thousands of mothers and grandmothers from going home and leaving them suffering inside of prisons with barbaric conditions, years and even decades. COVID is exacerbating these conditions. The treatment that they're receiving on a daily basis is barbaric. We should not tolerate it. As leaders, we need to do better. We are urging New York State elected officials to immediately pass the fair and timely parole bill, to immediately pass the elder bill, to codify in-person visits. While we continue the ongoing work of fundamentally transforming our society and how we respond to harm, New York State needs to immediately take these steps to bring home our grandmothers and mothers. We need to do better. Let's lead with morals and humanity, not harsh convictions and death sentences. To our sisters, siblings, grandmothers, mothers behind the bars, we are with you. We will never stop fighting for you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much, Miyoshi. That just moved me to tears. Let's go back over to the Brooklyn bus stop where we have someone else that would like to speak. So we'll turn it back over to Tanya Krupat before we move on.
Thank you, Letitia.
Tanya,
I'm
you're
proud.
welcome.
Can you hear me? I'm proud to introduce Miss Nawana from the RAP campaign.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Nawana Tucker from RAP. I'm a community leader and I stand with you ladies and all the families this morning in regards of getting business reinstated on Rikers Island. As a mother myself, I understand that parents, children should see their families at any time and all time. That is a given right. It is unfair how New York State used their bullying power to take things that mean so much to one of us. Even though we come from low income families, we deserve rights just like everyone else do. I stand here today too, because as you all, I have a husband that has been convicted for 33 years in New York State prison. It is time for a change. Mothers that's all on Rikers Island, mothers that want to see their children, it needs to be reinstated now. I was not aware that Rikers Island was not still allowing visits. I am appalled by the decision of New York State, the mayor, the governor, and every leadership person that's responsible for keeping family and especially children away from their mothers and mothers away from their children. So I stand with you today, and I stand also saying that we need our bills passed. We need the elder parole bill passed, and we need the fair and timely parole bill. Everybody deserves a second chance. I am not the same person I was 10 years ago, and neither are the women and men that are incarcerated. So again, I stand with you all today to say, release them now and reinstate visits immediately. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
And now
so
we're
much.
going to hear, Letitia, if it's okay, we're going to hear from Miss France and her daughter, Empress. This is the mic, that's the camera. So.
Happy, successful Saturday, everybody. Thank you for your time and the energy that everybody put in to making this happen. But today I come and I stand with regard to the individuals that's behind the wall today. And I ask for a plea to officials on the state and local departments to reinstate the visiting within the institutions. Imagine making a rational decision, an irrational decision that cost you your freedom, that had you taken away from your family, and you're put in a prison cell now to deal with the unknown. But your family, in the same token, are there to support you, to get you through the situation. And then it's taken from you, you're stripped from it. Officials want rehabilitation in the prisons, but it's very essential in order to be any type of rehabilitation that it has to be a close knit of community ties and family ties. In the process of individuals paying their debt to society, it's needed that I have a connection to what matters most so that I don't get caught up in the things that I'm surrounded by. I plead to the officials on local and state levels to put some type of ordinance in place so that we can maintain safety within the institutions and bridge a gap so that individuals can come home to be productive, stable members of society. You see, 375 days ago, I was on the side of that wall. Today, I stand here in the gap for the women that's incarcerated. And it's hard alone. And it's Mother's Day tomorrow. not being able to touch your child is something that could not just bend you, but crush you. So if this bill is not passed, we now have individuals coming home not to be productive, but to have issues of corona because the world has changed. But mental issues as well.
Thank
Because
you. Oh, sorry.
this is serious. It's essential. I stand with my daughter, is my motivating factor of why I came home with a changed mind. I thank the Osborne Society. I thank Women Prison Association. I thank the Fortune Society. I thank the people that put into policy and want to see change. But change is also reoccurring. There's many faucets that has to continue to go. Move forward so that change can occur. And it would affect people way beyond what we see right now. I beg you for your time. I thank you for your energy and the time that you have gave to this matter. Because I know without my family support, without my friends' support, I would not have made it right now. I would not be on the path of where I'm going to right now. But glory to God in everything that I do. I beg the officials on state and local seats to put something in place where as though families can touch their loved ones, inmates can touch their loved ones. It's essential for the well-being. It's essential for the well-being of families and inmates to keep their mind right and to come home, to be exactly what the prison system is supposed to be designed for people to pay their debt to society, but also to be rehabilitated. Because that's what y'all say. Y'all wanted us to be rehabilitated and to cut recidivism. In order to do that in an effective manner, this is an intricate part that needs to be dealt with. I appreciate your time. Happy, successful Saturday, everybody. I wish you all the best and stay safe.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi. Oh, sorry, Mom. Hi, everybody. My name is Empress. I came here to speak about in-person visitation. When my mother and father got locked up, I was a mini. I didn't know what was going on. I feel like in-person visitation should be open. I was able to see my mother, but I wasn't able to see my father. And seeing your parents, like having a Father's Day without your father there, it's like, what is the Father's Day for? My mother, you want to see your parents on Christmas, you want to see them on birthdays, you want to see them on Thanksgiving. But without visitation opens, you can't. It's like my mother said, Mother's Day is tomorrow. It would hurt my mother. She was still in a facility and visitation was closed for me not to see her on Mother's Day. And I know the many other Mother's Days that she was in jail and I was able to see her and hear her the most. And I feel like visitation should be open only because children, I would like to touch my mother. I would like to hear her voice. I know Skype, Zoom, or phone calls is good, but just to hear their voice, smell them, touch them, feel their feel is better than just hearing their voice. Hearing their voice, yes, it's good. You want to hear their voice? It's yes, but seeing your parent, you can hug them. You can tell them certain things that you can't tell around other people. And with my mother being in jail, it was certain things that I couldn't tell her over the phone. So with me not being able to see her or to talk to her or to see her in jail, it hurt me the most. And while she was in jail, I felt like I was in jail too. I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. I wasn't able to get my nails done with my mother. I wasn't able to do everything with my mother because she was incarcerated. And I feel like that's what everybody do not understand. Nobody understands that when your parent is locked up or when you have kids that's incarcerated and you cannot see their parent, it hurts them more than it hurts you. And I just wanted to say that I want them to change their mind about them closing visitation because it's way more important to the children, the family, not even your parents, your family members. I just feel like it's way more important to them and how they feel than more important than how other people feel because it's them that's going through it, not you.
Thank you, Empress. You are an amazing leader, and we thank you for your voice.
Thank you, Tanya. And Empress, a young advocate rising. We have Latoya and Shazir, mom and daughter from Osborne. Are they with us? Tanya?
Yeah, sorry, Letitia.
No problem.
We stand in the gap for the people of Brooklyn.
I think we don't have another speaker here right now.
Okay.
That's right. We doing things with purpose.
Can you come back to us?
Yes, yes, I will. How about, do we have Anna Pastoresi with us? Joining us via Zoom? A mom whose son was on Rikers for 6 years. Well, I will definitely say that Empress has said so many things, and it just brings me, Dave?
I'm gonna promote her to a panelist.
Okay,
Sorry for
okay.
that, everyone.
Going back to Empress, and you know, it just brings me to back to the fair and timely parole bill, right? We need families home. We need to have New York State, there's over 8,000 people incarcerated, older people at that. Many who are mothers and grandmothers and who have transformed their lives over the years. We are urging the state parole board to release our elders. Many are mothers and grandmothers and can be home with their families today if the state board, parole board, was doing their job and fully staffed. Okay. We are joined by Anna Pastoresi. Am I saying it right? Okay, Anna, we'll hear from Anna now. Thank you.
Hi, hello, my name is Anna Pastoressa. I am an advocate in criminal justice reform, and I'm also a mom of a son who was incarcerated on Rikers Island waiting for 6 years for trial. I've been there many times, multiple times on Rikers Island. I've seen the horrors of that infamous island. And to imagine that there would be no visits for over a year is just scary. It destroys my heart. I remember when I saw George Floyd being killed. Who did he call in the last minutes of his life? He was calling for his mama. A grown man calling for his mama. What does that tell you? That the bond between mothers and children never dies, no matter how old you are. And for the state and the elected official to destroy that bond by trying to stop visits, destroying families, destroying the bond between mothers and children, and trying to destroy community, because that's all it does. It only adds trauma. It only adds destruction to a community. It is such a simple thing to visit. Why would you cancel it? If grocery stores and any other stores and establishment in New York are able to use measures of protection for COVID and continue their business, visits, you're going to close visits, you're going to destroy families. Is that the goal that elected officials have in this state, in this city, in this country? It is appalling. It is appalling. To me, you know, the only thing that keeps you going, when, especially in difficult times when you're incarcerated, is the love of your mama, the love of your mother, no matter how old that child is. Children are very vulnerable, but even as an adult, you need your mama. And the touch, the kissing, and even holding hands, it is not comparable to a phone call. You cannot just use phone calls and think it's okay. It's not okay. The visit is what, to see your children or to see your loved one is what you're looking for all week long when you're incarcerated. What are you looking for a phone call? No, you need to see your mama. You need to hold hands. You need to hug the mama. You need to kiss. And that's what keeps you going, to feel the energy there, to know that is there for you, the mama, that and to see your children and embrace them. It's nothing comparable to a phone call. And I don't want to hear excuses from the elected officials saying that, it's because of safety measure or is dangerous. No, if any establishment in New York is able to continue to do business, the visit is the least difficult thing to do. It's already in place. So you continue it. Why cancel it? To destroy family? That seems to me the goal of all these elected officials of the state, destroying family, dividing people. And it only happens to poorer people who have no resources. And you're gonna end up with a population of traumatized people who are not gonna be able to function. That is not the way a country, a state, or a city should focus on. Focus on restoring visits immediately, now, no matter if it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, holidays, every day you need to see your mama. Every day you need to hold your children. And it is appalling to see what's going on right now, that we have to pass bills. We have to beg elected officials to pass a bill to protect in-person's visit. And I'm begging you, elected officials, to pass it immediately. It shouldn't even be a bill. It should be a given. We all know what it's like to have our children near us. We know, all the elected officials know what it's like to hug your mother and feel that support, that energy, that love, not through the phone, not through, through talking through a video. It doesn't help. We need in person, touching, feeling it. And when I saw George Floyd crying for his mother, I knew what it feels like. In the last moments of somebody's life, he's thinking of who? His mother. Doesn't that tell anybody something? Doesn't the elected official understand? Don't they have children of their own? I am so upset about this. We don't need a bill. Unfortunately, we do, but we shouldn't need a bill for that. So I am begging everybody here, any elected official, the mayor, to protect the in-person's visit and to restore visits immediately, as of now. And I wish all the mamas happy Mother's Day. And I wish strength to stay together, to keep strong, that we're gonna pass this and we're gonna win on this. It's such a simple thing to do, but we have to battle so hard for it. And I love all the mamas out there. I love all those children that are locked up and mothers that are locked up. I support all of them with all my heart. Happy Mama Days to all the mamas. And I will fight for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. It's nothing like a mother's love, nothing. And as they're opening up New York City or New York in general this month, visits need to be restored immediately.
Now, not tomorrow, not later this week. Now.
That's right. Thank you so much, Anna.
Immediately. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And now we'll hear from Assembly Member Linda Rosenthal. Assembly Member, thank you for joining us. We have the Assembly Member.
Letitia, I think we should go to Bedford. We're having some technical difficulties.
Okay, all right, thank you. So y'all heard it. We're going over to Bedford where we have Pam Neely, Long Island Social Justice Action Network Coordinator, Serena Ligori from New Hour, Bedford.
Mothers behind prison matters. 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 What is our word? What is our word? Mothers matter. Mothers matter.
Mothers matter.
Let them go.
Let them go. Woo! We are here today. We're activists, organizers, mothers, and children who are impacted by the justice system. We're here in the rain. We're here with corrections vans blocking our parking. We are here standing in front of Bedford Hills and Taconic to say that the women behind these bars matter. This Mother's Day is another Mother's Day that women in jails across the state have no visits from their children. This is not right. It's not okay. We're here with organizers. We're here with nurses. We're here with physicians. We are here with volunteers who understand and people who live in the community of Bedford to say three things. One, women and mothers deserve visits for Mother's Day. Number two, elders behind bars matter. Our grandmothers, our grandfathers, they deserve to come home. And in a fair and timely manner, they should be evaluated for parole. And third, but very much not least, birth behind bars is traumatic and harmful without a support person in a room alone. You know, in 2009, we banned shackling. It still continues to persist. We're fighting for basic human rights for women behind bars. We're fighting for a support person to be in the room when you give birth by yourself. That's not okay. No, it's not. That's not right. When I was in this facility, I didn't have a child. I am now a mother, and I cannot imagine giving birth behind bars by myself. That is what women in this facility understand and have to survive any time that they give birth. And the same for the jails. I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Lori Goshen. Lori is a member of the Justice for Women Task Force, and she is also a nurse and the lead author for National Standards of Nursing Care for Incarcerated Pregnant and Postpartum Women. Thank you, Lori, for joining us today, and thank all of our moms and grandmothers and aunts and sisters for being here. This is what matters to us this Mother's Day. All women behind bars.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here and celebrate with everyone, saying that women behind bars matter. I'm a nurse, I'm a researcher. All of the major nursing and medical organizations are in support of the bill that we're talking about today. They support, and I support, the immediate release of all incarcerated pregnant and postpartum people, as well as the immediate release of elders. As a nurse, I honor the dynamic opportunity for change in all of my patients. I ask the state of New York to do the same. Fair and timely parole and elder parole give the opportunity for people to come home, for grandmothers, for mothers, to be reunited with their children and grandchildren, for Mother's Day, for holidays, for communities that have been devastated by mass incarceration to be healthy and whole again. For people who cannot be released, we also demand, nurses demand, our medical organizations demand the care inside that is dignity, that conforms to the national standards for everyone, to constitutional and human rights standards. This includes having someone to support you when you give birth. As Serena shared, and as my research has shown, and as people who've experienced it have shared, giving birth behind bars is traumatic. And a woman's birth story remains in her body and in her heart for the rest of her life. It can cause post-traumatic stress disorder. It can also impact a woman's ability to bond with her baby. So we need to support women who give birth behind bars. If we're not going to release them, we at least need to treat them with dignity and care. Yes. And second of all, we need to codify the legal right to in-person visiting. We have resumed visiting in hospital facilities and nursing home facilities. So we see how important it is for people to be in communication and visit with their families. Why don't we see that for people behind bars? So the bills that we're supporting today, fair and timely parole, elder parole, the right to visit, the right to birth support are important. They're important for the individual people behind bars. They're important for their children and their families, and they're important for whole communities, which is important for public health.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we move on in Bedford, we are joined by Assemblywoman Linda Rosenthal, and we will hear from the Assemblywoman at this time. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you all today, but I'm here with you in spirit and on Zoom. So I'm Linda Rosenthal. I represent the 67th Assembly District in Manhattan. And I am here to join in your call for timely parole, elder parole, and in addition, on this day before Mother's Day, my bills that will help women who are incarcerated and pregnant in prisons. You know, last year in the Public Protection Joint Budget hearing, I asked the acting commissioner of DOCS about the lack of health care for women who are incarcerated, particularly people who are pregnant. And he assured me that the last thing he would want is for any of the female population to feel neglected. Well, he knows they feel neglected. Is that right? He should know. We're telling him that they are neglected. So right now, women in prisons have their health care needs ignored. They have to plead for regular gynecological care. Women who are able to obtain care have left appointments feeling unheard, ignored, embarrassed. A 2015 report by the Women in Prison Project told the stories of older women who were dismissed when they asked for help with menopause symptoms, and of pregnant people who were ignored by medical staff when they alerted them that they thought they were in labor. 9 out of 10 women in correctional facilities are victims of domestic violence or sexual abuse, making it more critical than ever that medical staff working in prisons and jails be compassionate, respectful, and give trauma-informed care. No one, incarcerated or not, should feel they are mistreated when they seek medical attention. And so I have some bills that would require medical staff at prisons and jails to receive training as part of a women's health education program to ensure that they are respectful and provide trauma-informed care. The bill would also require that people who are pregnant and incarcerated are given information about their right to abortion services, pregnancy counseling, and the ability to apply to prison nursery programs where they can live with their child. Another bill I'm working on would require that all nursing mothers in prisons and jails be provided with a breast pump, as well as access to a quiet, clean, and comfortable space to nurse their child and to pump milk for their baby. Nursing mothers would also be able to express the milk and store them so someone else could pick it up if the child is not with them. These are just basic human rights, which no one should lose if they are incarcerated. I'm committed to passing this legislation with the support of all of you, with the support of the Osborne campaign, the People's Campaign for Parole Justice, and the New Hour for Women and Children. This weekend of Mother's Day, let us keep everyone in their thoughts, not just thoughts and prayers, but in action. And this is what we're going to try to do this session, is pass all of these bills to help those who are incarcerated resume their lives with dignity and respect. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Assemblywoman Rosenthal, for that. We thank you, and sorry, we're glad that you're here supporting us, and we thank you for your time again. We're gonna go over to Bedford, back to Bedford, where we have Serena and Assemblyman Burdick.
Now, mothers in prison matter. Mothers in prison matter. Mothers in prison matter. Mothers in prison matter. Woo! We are here with Pam Neely. Pam Neely. Come to see this again. Good afternoon. My name is Pamela Neely, and I stand here with all these women because guess what? Mothers deserve to be treated like human beings and the mothers that they are. Why should they be denied visits? Yes. This is one day a year, and you mean to tell me everything else is opening and we can't get the visits? It's not right. It's not right. This has got to stop. And we stand out here in the rain to show you how serious we are about the passion of these bills being passed. Fair and timely bill and elderly parole. It's going to get passed. It's going to get passed. We are not going to stop because it's only right. Somebody did something up 10 years ago that they cannot change. That does not deny them the ability to be respected and treated like a human being. Yeah. We as women have different things going on with our bodies, and we deserve to have medical care. We deserve to be somebody to be there for us when we go through every single change. We all know the changes that we go through. Women in here shouldn't have to beg for a pad when they're on their monthly. It's not right. It's not right. And all we're asking for is to be treated fairly. So I'm begging now, and I'm letting you know, and I'll say this every time I have an opportunity to speak. I'm not stopping. If my pinky moves, it will move my body to continue to fight. Because it's only right. What about her? What about her? Woo! What about her? We're not asking, we're demanding. Woo! And now we are introducing Assemblymember Chris Burdick. And we are.
I think I'm going to be louder.
Yes, we are grateful for your support with us here today.
It's great to be here. Good afternoon. And for those who don't know me, I'm Chris Burdick, member of the New York State Assembly, representing Northern Westchester and about half of White Plains. And these correctional facilities are right here in my district. It is an honor and it's a privilege to be here with you to fight for improved treatment for the women incarcerated here and throughout the state. I first applaud you for your advocacy, for your intense desire to reach out and help, for your tenacity. This fight cannot succeed without you. So I ask you to give yourselves a round of applause. This is a fight for social justice.
Yeah, right.
So many of the women are impoverished. They're women of color from some of the most impacted and underserved communities in the state.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
We can do better. We must do better.
Right.
I am a proud co-sponsor of these two bills. And as a member of the Assembly Correction Committee, have been strongly pressing for their enactment into law. These are simple and common sense proposals. My colleague, Assembly Member Rosenthal's bill, all it does is it establishes a women's health education program. It provides access to pregnancy counseling services, authorizes a support person to accompany an incarcerated woman during delivery, and provides additional health services for women. We demand it. Demand it. My colleague and chair of the Correction Committee, Assemblymember Wetburne's proposal establishes a visiting program for incarcerated people for personal contact with relatives, friends, clergy, volunteers, and others to promote better institutional adjustment and better community adjustment upon their release. And I want to emphasize release. Because you know what this is all about is that the corrections institution should be doing that. Rehabilitation and correction. And no matter how heinous the crime, every soul, every individual is capable of redemption. Everyone is capable of, everyone must be given dignity and respect.
That's right.
So while I am cautiously optimistic that the Assembly will adopt these measures, we can take absolutely nothing for granted. We must fight for these changes. We must fight for the simple concept that incarcerated individuals must have the opportunity for rehabilitation, for correction, so they can become returned citizens to their communities. They need to be returned citizens. So we've got a great deal of work to do. And thanks to all of you, we have a fighting chance. We have to keep pushing. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell them to contact the governor's office, to contact their elected representatives. Just keep pushing. It's the only way it's going to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Birth care is a natural right. 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 Parole justice now. Parole justice now. Parole justice now. Parole justice now. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. What about her? What about her? What about her? What about her? I am her. I am her. I am her. I am her.
Letitia, we're turning it back over to you. We are so proud to be here to continue to support our mothers, our women, our children, and to remember every child who this Mother's Day will not see their mother behind bars. We are here fighting for you and fighting for your family. Thank you so much, and we will keep on keeping on.
Happy Mother's Day to all mothers!
Yes, keep on keeping on. That's right. We'll now hear from Latoya Llewellyn and Shazia Llewellyn as well.
Yes, hi, how are you? It's a pleasure to be here today. I just want to say I did 9 years in prison. I just came home January 14th, and I'm here to, back up my fellow women that I left behind the wall. And I have wrote a poetry, and visits is very important. And I'm looking at the Bedford Hills protests, and, medical treatment is horrible inside, and I can speak from experience because I just left the Taconic Correctional Facility, and I was in Bedford, and medical, it's like they don't care. I left a lot of elderly behind the walls. Linda Alfini, who's fighting and was devastated because, she didn't make clemency, and she's hoping and she's keeping strong. I left a lot of powerful women, mothers, elderly, behind the walls January 14th of 2021. I only been released within 60 days, but I would like to read my poetry to you. And I'm here with my daughter. She should be on, and she's going to speak about her experience. But I want to read this poetry to y'all. Can you give me 1 second? It says, a mother bond. Behind the wall, a mother bond with her child is very important. A mother's bond face to face should never be replaced. I remember the day I was stripped from my kids fighting my case. Birthday, Christmas, and holidays all just slipped away. So tell me, why do you insist to take our visits away? A mother's child should never be kept away. Our kids suffer the most. Some kids get lost in the system without a trace, but still you insist to take our visits away. I remember I wanted to give up. I remember feeling helpless. I remember the only happiness I got was when those visits came and I was able to see my kids face to face. The memories of those visits could never be replaced. Shackles was placed on my feet, cuffs on my wrists. Looking in my kids' eyes kept my sanity and gave me peace. So I asked, why do you strip our visits with our children away? The judicial system is supposed to be designed to restore and rebuild and keep family ties, but instead they oppress and separate. We need a change. So I ask again, why do you insist to take our visits away? Can you hear me? You hear me? Okay. So I'm just here to help advocate and get some things changed. With the legislators and the laws, because it's wrong and it needs to come to an end, because our voice, we matter. As women, we matter. We mothers, we grandmothers, as grandmothers, and in the system, it seems like we don't matter. But the only thing that we keep our hope is with our family ties and our kids. And I remember them days being able to parent from behind bars, being able to call my kids' school and still talk to them on a visit and guide them. I had a son named Shazia who was in and out of the juvenile system for my whole entire incarceration. He took my time the hardest. And my daughter, I had to help her be a young woman to be able to love herself, because a lot of us women has been, raised in poverty, I've been through domestic violence survivor. I'm a human trafficking survivor, and I'm here to say I'm a survivor today. And I was broken when I went inside, and I rehabilitated myself by educating myself, by getting knowledge, by changing the way I think, because inside there was no opportunity. It was opportunities for me, but it wasn't rebuilding me from the inside out. I had to do it myself with the higher power, with the God and my children. And because I wanted to be a better mother, I wanted to be a better, daughter to my, and I wanted better. But the system didn't give me that. They failed me. They just put the cuffs and shackles and send me away. But today I could say I'm a survivor, and I'm here, and I fight for the women that's behind bars, and that's it. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. We'll hear from Shazia. Are you with us?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
All right.
Speak loudly, honey, so we can hear you.
Okay. So my experience with my mother from distance is even hard because I look for love for the wrong place. My dad is, I don't even know where, but my family it's just been like hectic, and so it's hard to be able to talk to somebody. It's hard to be able to speak to my dad about all these things going on without even seeing him. And it's even worse when I was 5 years old, sitting down. My mom told me, "Oh, I'm going to prison for a long time." That thing hurted me when that thing hurted me when she said she was leaving, and I felt like my heart was just gone. I felt alone. I felt like I have to carry every single pain behind my back just to hopefully to see my mom. And when I do see my mom, she's like my best friend. Like, we talk and we have these conversations. So to put these girls, to put these women and these girls the way I used to go through, it's gonna hurt. Not know what they're going through. Even if their mother's in jail, whatever, that thing hurts. Like, me not seeing my mom is like me not seeing myself. Cause my mom is my best friend, and that's my ride or die. So if she's with me, if she's there, and if I'm seeing her, that would make me happy, because that would make me feel like, oh, I can speak to somebody about how I feel. And especially I don't have a dad, so it's just hard to walk alone it's hard to walk all these fears of steps. Jesus said, I fear no evil. That's what you have to say everything to your, that's what you have to say every day to yourself. If you have to walk alone. Cause I feel like to myself, I can't be nobody. I have to look for love in the wrong places. I have to walk without a dad. I have to go graduate without a father. I have to graduate without a mother. It's just sad. And especially on the phone. And anyways, when I go on the phone to call, that is totally different. And it's hard because you can't speak on the phone that long. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to be on the phone. And that's really disappointing because if I'm on the phone with my mom's and that thing hangs up, I got the rest of the things to say. So it's like it's disappointing to me that how life without no father and mother is really hard. And I look for love in the wrong places. And that's what a daughter should not be going through this time and this age. So I say I prefer y'all to let these women to see their daughter, because I'm telling you, without a mother, it's no heart in them. They're gonna start looking for different kinds of things to do. They start being out in the streets. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Isaiah. We know best how this trauma manifests. And you're hearing it from a young youth, how this trauma manifests. Thank you so much for your time, Shaziah, and your strength and your bravery for sharing with us this morning. So we're going to go back to Bedford and hear from our crew over there. But before we do that, actually, I want to bring to our attention the Free Asia campaign. Asia is a Panamanian immigrant survivor who spent 15 years in prison for actions that she took under coercion of her abuser. Days after her release, she's facing deportation and separation from her children. We demand that ICE free Asia and that Governor Cuomo grant Asia's pardon. Okay, so here we are, celebrating Mother's Day, standing in the space for mothers that are not with us, supporting them. We are here for them. And we have Asia, who is being deported after being released after 15 years around Mother's Day. I just want to say that as long as we continue to fight, it is possible. And we'll hear from Serena in Bedford.
Thank you, Leticia. We're here. Mothers, grandmothers, sisters, aunts, great-grandmothers, all here to support women behind bars. Assemblymember Burdick said before he left, he's not going to give up. He's going to keep fighting for these bills. We have a sign that says Free Linda Alfini. Yeah. We want to lift up the names of all of the women we've left behind who are in these walls that left behind. Kim Brown. Kim Brown. Pam Smart. Free Asia now. Free Asia now. Free Asia now. Free Asia now. We want to thank you for joining us today. We want to support all mothers and fathers and loved ones behind bars. We want to say Happy Mother's Day. It's a hard day. It's a hard day for the women here at Bedford and a hard day for mothers across the state who are locked up and the tens of thousands of children who are impacted by their mothers being behind bars. We will continue to fight for elder parole, fair and timely parole, support people behind bars when they're giving birth, and for all of the visit bills that need to be put in place. These are basic rights, basic human rights. We're going to keep fighting. Thank you all for joining us. What about her? What about her? What